Okay, so this video goes to single mothers, and truth be told, if you're a single woman who's never had kids, this applies to you too. I myself, as a single woman with no kids, this applies to myself also. I was raised by a woman who was married, and then, after I was born, give or take like 2 to 4 years, I can't remember the exact time frame, but, she got divorced from her husband, which was my father. My stance on child support is this: I do not believe that a woman should put a man on child support unless it's for this reason, that he is a deadbeat. And by deadbeat, I mean that he flat out refuses to provide for the child that you two came together and created, whether or not the child was planned, right? Um, and especially when he never once expressed prior to getting together, much less within the first, let's say, first few weeks or first few months of you guys being together, he never once expressed that he did not want to have children, or more specifically, did not want to have children with you. I don't believe that outside of that, I don't believe that women should put a man on child support. That's the only time, if he refuses to take care of the child, is when a woman puts a man on child support. And with that, because this has to be said, he never expressed that he didn't want to have a child prior to you laying down with him. And the reason why I have to add that in is because you have some women, granted not all, you have some women where the man has made it abundantly clear that he does not want to have children. You even have some women within that where the man has told him that, and they agreed with the man that, yeah, they don't want to have kids either, you know. So they both came into agreement that no kid should come out of it. Now, let me say this: whether you're the man or the woman, if you do not want to have children, don't have sex. Because even with protection, there's always the possibility that you could either get pregnant or get someone pregnant. No matter how slim the chances, there's still a possibility. The 100% way of knowing for certain that you will not get pregnant or not get someone pregnant is to simply not have sex. Most people are not going to do that though, but you know, facts are facts. But I digress. You have women who know from the get go that the man does not want to have children or doesn't want to have children with her. You have some women who will come into agreement with the man, and then when she gets pregnant, then she demands the man to pay child support. I don't agree with that at all. Because at the end of the day, you two as grown adults made an agreement that no kids will come out of it. You know, the man is completely foolish because he knows as a man that if a woman gets pregnant, he doesn't really have a say. At the end of the day, it's the woman that makes the ultimate decision whether she keeps the child or kills the child. She's the one that has the final say, not the man. So it's incredibly foolish on a man's part to put himself in a predicament to lay down with a woman who he doesn't want her to be his wife, much less be the mother of his children. That's incredibly stupid on a man's part. But many men put themselves in that situation the same way many women put themselves into the position of being a single mother. And I said many, not all. So if you're not part of the many, exit yourself out of the conversation. I am not talking about you. Um, so yeah, I just don't agree with that. At the end of the day, if you have a child with a man who, when it comes to stuff with the baby, or whoever, however old the child may be, you never have to ask for anything pertaining to the child. If the child needs food, he's got it. If the child needs clothes, he's got it. You know, if he's coming round, spending time with the child, sometimes taking the child away for like a few days or the weekend or so you can have a break. You know, he he gives himself to the child mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all that stuff there, there's absolutely no reason to put a man like that on child support. And any person that you have around, especially female friends, family members, co-workers, what have you, who turn around to you and say that you should put a man on child support, before you follow their advice, ask them on what grounds. Ask them what is their reason, what is their justification to advise you to do that. And 9 times out of 10, they won't have a good enough reason, or they'll give an answer based on their own personal experience, not what is going on in your situation. Assess your situation. The man who you have a child with, is he actually a deadbeat? Is he someone that runs away from responsibility? Has he treated you bad? Has he treated you good? Assess your situation, and don't be quick to follow the advice of another woman who has a deadbeat father, because her deadbeat father is not your deadbeat father. And a lot of women who give advice to other women about their situation, the advice they're giving them is based on their experiences, and their experiences usually not being good. So even be careful who you even ask, because the advice that they'll give you 9 times out of 10 is not for your best interest. It's not, and by putting certain types of men on child support, that can actually worsen you guys' relationship. And by relationship, I'm talking about co-parenting relationship. If you have a good co-parenting relationship, there is absolutely no reason to put the person on child support. Why put yourself in a situation whereas before you and the guy were cool, and now because he's having to pay out more than what he could have paid or was able to afford to pay out, and bearing in mind, at this point, you guys will have your own place. The same way you've got bills to pay, he has bills to pay. You're technically both single parents. If you're a single mother, he's a single father. You guys are in the same position. The only difference is that one of you will have more custody over the child versus the other, unless it's a 50-50 situation. Why put yourself in a position where the man could potentially grow resentment towards you, because now you've put him in a situation where not only does he have to cover your bills as well as take care of his child, he still has to cover his bills. He has no financial assistance, whereas you get to keep all your money, and on top of that, you get assistance from him outside of the child. If it's not required to do that, why enter something unnecessary to create possible conflict between you and your child's father? It's already not that most ideal situation, the fact that you and him are not in the same house. You guys are not under the same roof anymore, right? Why then make it worse by causing all the unnecessary tension and friction? Like I said, if this is someone who refuses to take responsibility for the child that he created with you, then yes, put him on child support. Absolutely. But if you guys have a good co-parent relationship, if he always provides for the child, and then here and there from time to time, he may give you a little extra so that you can put it towards something else, then what's the reason? It doesn't make sense. Like I said, both of you are single parents. You're not helping towards his bills. You're not paying all this extra stuff simply because your child is at his house for a fraction of the time. So why do it the other way around? Many people may miss what I'm saying, but just really listen to what I'm saying before you jump the gun and bite my head off, yeah?